Where's that screen? Shows me what's loaded. Why won't it load to show me? Come on now, what are you doing? Okay, 5 for 20 seconds. Green lights, 3 green lights. That looks good. That looks good. Close this. Don Don's grams. No! Don't play music that I don't own, or else it'll be silenced out. There we go. Cause you've gotta align your text, or else it will look wrecked. Ooh. This. Save. Post. Excuse me. Pick a random filter. Next. Copy and paste the text we always use. Then we're gonna paste it like it's news, but it's not. It's just the Tuesday text that I've got. Oops. Paste it up. Paste it nice. Share Twitter, even though that doesn't show up nice. Alright. I hear weird TikTok person on my Instagram. Putting that here. Hey, Space Goonie. And then, on to what I forgot. Once we start, Patty Prue's here, and he's ready to fart. Yeah, I think that's right. Oh god, I forgot to check all my cameras. All right, well, yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it. Get that there, and Ripley? Let's see what Ripley looks like. Okay, your camera's there. Why do you always restart? I don't even understand. Meow, 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 meow. All right, your microphone works. My microphone looks like it works. Everything, everything should be good to go. Oh, Space Goonie and Pat. Just watch it in the same room. Oh my god. I got a new camera. This isn't that camera. Hey Pat, join me over here for 2 seconds. This isn't the new camera either. See that? That's a microphone. Invisible. But we'll talk about the new camera. We'll talk about all the things. Hey, CTK! Talk about all of the things. Or maybe I'll just sit here in silence. Maybe I'll just sit here in silence. You can't just sit there in silence. This is like a thing. Like, you have to at least draw something or do something. You can't just sit there. I mean, seriously, this is the whole thing. Like, this is why you do it, because you have too many words to say. So you gotta get all the words out every Tuesday so that you can function in regular life. You know, I mean, it's not too complicated. You gotta, hey, is this because during the day you were watching a streamer who was doing literally nothing at all but checking her messages, and she had 190,000 people watching her do nothing at all while you were spending your day pushing all of the effort out of your bum, making all of your little effort turns or art, as you might call it, and you gotta like actually try real hard, and that person was like, should I have a snack or should I play that game that everybody's playing? And then you were just like, maybe I talk too much. Maybe you do talk too much. I mean, I for one know that you do talk way too much. So maybe it's a good idea if you just sit here in silence. But I mean, realistically, how do I live without you? I want to know. How do I, say words if you're just going to be quiet? It just doesn't make any sense. You're not going to make me admit that I need you to say words. That's just not going to happen. And I know that you can't resist talking back to me, much in the same way that I cannot resist talking back to you. So I mean, this is it's gonna get worse before it gets better, So you're gonna say something. I know it. I just know it in my heart. You're gonna say so many things, and it's gonna be unstoppable. I don't like that the clapter just shuts down halfway through there. Oh man, this isn't a touchscreen. I need to find my pen. Um. Oh snaps. But yeah, got a super fancy new camera. Talked about that last week with the, hey Amazon, thanks for letting me know that that I'm not gonna be home when you do show up to deliver this. Thanks. And then we got the puzzle. So I put the puzzle back in the mail, and they refunded my money. And the little lights that I talked about last week that I was pretty excited about, they don't exist anymore. So I picked another random set of lights that are similar. Maybe they're better, maybe they're worse. I don't know. Got to adjust you, but whatever. You're fine. You're fine. Um. So yeah, I was pretty excited to use the new camera today, but then I realized, oh, I gotta plug it in, but it doesn't come with a power cord hole. You gotta get a fake battery that's a power cord adapter that goes into a power cord junction box, or I was gonna say transmitter, transformer, and then that goes into the wall. So it's like, all right, cool. Well, I'll take a spin around town, see if I can find one of those. And for the most part, the people at Staples were just like, no, get out of here, you idiot. We don't have things anymore. We've been over this and over this. You're going to want to go to staples.ca. Amazon? All right, I'll just go to Amazon. The shipping will be. No, you're going to go to Staples. And then, actually, if I order it here for you, then I still get a commission. Like, yeah, that'll be great. But I'm going to go buy whatever random one that I find within my price range and see it never. But first, I'm going to go get angry over at the source by Circuit City, formerly known as Radio Shack, formerly known as Prince. And why you gotta go and make things so complicated? Bing, boom. So then I was spending also way too much time regretting the fact that I didn't spend the extra $150 to get the whole camera set that came with other things. And I was like, does it even have the things that I want? So I went back and looked later on. I'm like, oh, it didn't have any of the things that I'm hunting around town for anyway. So I also needed to get some different cords to go into the computer and whatnot, which I didn't have. Got a whole drawer, just a whole bin filled, excuse me, with all of the cords of the world. And oddly enough, like, oh, but not these ones, except for a USB cord that fits, or I'll say 9 USB cords that work fine, but they're like this long. That's no good to anybody unless you're just charging a phone. So it's like, all right, no big deal. I'll get a USB, and I'll get an HD cable and see what I can do with those. But either way, I'm going to test this out. It's going to work and it's going to be great. Before I went buying cables, plugged it in via the USB, downloaded the patching software to allow it to be a USB camera. But still, mostly was like, I want this to do some stop motioning with, so it's got to work with my stop motion program, and it's got to work with Streamlabs. So before I bought the thing, the internet guys were like, hey, we're guys on the internet showing you how to set up your streams and how to use cool things to do cool things. Like, thanks, internet guy. I appreciate that you're not nine for once. And the first guy or the first paragraph that I read, not all of them were people or videos, was like, it works best with Streamlabs OBS. Like, of course it does. Everything seems to work best with Streamlabs OBS, so no big deal. I should probably be able to just plug and play. And as far as my stop motion software, if it works with that, it's going to work with this. It's not going to. There's not going to be any issues. I did my research. I didn't just get a random camera. I got the one that's going to work with these things as recommended by the nerds of the internet. So I plugged in the USB test cable that was too short, but it was like, yeah, it definitely worked. Don't really know what I did. Pretty sure I basically just plugged it in. The software's already there and it worked. So whatever. I'm gonna go get some power cords and junk food and maybe real groceries, and it's gonna be an adventure. So I did that, and then whatever. That was enough stuff to do in the run of a day. So then on Sunday, I was like, all right, let's just actually sit down and test this out and see how great this is, because I've got some better chords, and then why would it not work? Why would it not work? I mean, I spent all this money, and then I went around town trying to find things. So I got the chords, kind of no problem. One of them at Staples, and then I was like, fine, gotta go over to Radio Hut anyway. And went over there. That brush is too big. So same deal, went over to Radio Shack and didn't really expect to find anything anyway, because Radio Shack is worse than Staples and they don't have anything. So I went in and just looked at, like, all right, cool. One had the USB cable I needed, the other one had the HD cable I needed. So I'm like, all right, cool. At least not a wasted adventure at all. I thought I hid those labels. Hide and hide. There we go. Those don't work. But yeah, so I was already kind of afraid to go to the Radio Shack just because there was like 9 people working there, and it's a pretty small store. And I'm not talking about COVID numbers. I'm just talking about gauntlet numbers. I'm talking about gauntlet numbers as in the American Gladiators gauntlet, and or the, can't remember all of the words, all of the event names, but the one word is just like you're just trying to get up around all the triangles and the pieces of foam without it getting shot. But also there are some American Gladiators that are just waiting and ready run out from behind these things and just push you down or hit you with a big foam thing. It was a weird show. Kind of surprised it's not back again. I mean, not now, but before and after all this stuff. So I went exactly to where I needed in the Radio Shack, and I looked at the aisle where they only have like 3 things on it anyway. So just like, oh, can I help you with anything? I know that you can't, Derek. Just making up a name right now. I know that you can't, Derek, because you're 9. And not to disparage, I realize that 9-year-olds know 1,000 more things than I do right now. But as an employee of this place, I know that you don't know anything about Radio Shack stuff. I know that on a Radio Shack salary, you can't afford any of the stuff in Radio Shack, so what would you know about it? Everything is too expensive in here. Can I just erase this? And it's usually weird knockoff brands of stuff. Not real knockoff brands, but it's just like, oh hey, cool, a Next Tech drone. That's a real thing. I guess I'll get it because there's no other options. How many X's in Next? 2. Definitely gonna work for at least 3 weeks anyway. So mostly my thing about the Radio Shack employees is not that they're too young or too stupid. It's the fact that they act like Radio Shack is awesome. And I know you have to do that at your job or whatever, but it's just not awesome. Like they never ever have anything, and then they won't. At least it's Staples. I'll give this to Staples. When I am too lazy to order my own stuff and I just want to own it, and they're like, hey, come on over here. I'll go to the screen, I'll order it for you, and it will be shipped to your house. Or I'll have it shipped here and you can come to the store and pick it up, and it'll still be like buying it, but you do have to wait, a week or 6 before it shows up. But you don't have to do the ordering yourself. So they come over, but they don't offer to order it for you to get it into the store anymore. Oh yeah, yeah. When it was Radio Shack, it was great. I used to go there just to look at stuff and ask, "Well, what is this?" And they tell me because it was interesting. Once it became the source, it's just like, where'd all the stuff go? Yeah, we don't do that anymore. If you want stuff, you just go online and order it from anybody. So why would you bother coming here? Like, how do you have 9 people on staff right now? Like, working a shift. How is this fiscally responsible for anybody? This makes no sense. There's so many of you, and definitely, I don't know. I don't know. So I ask, like an idiot, do you have the thing that's like for a Canon camera? It's not a battery, but it's like the battery, and it goes in so that I can plug it into the wall. The wall adapter for this thing, not the battery or the battery charger. I want the thing that bypasses all of that so that I can stream with it. Didn't tell them the streaming part, but I just want the power cord thing. You got one of those? You guys used to have everything. You used to have like a whole wall section that was all cameras and gear and stuff like that. And now I don't even know where that is, if there is any. And they're like, oh yeah, like we still have it. That's over there. Like, store isn't that big, and from where I'm standing, I can't see a single camera. But I'll believe you that it's over in the direction you pointed. But it seems to mostly be attachments for HD TV stuff. And not enough HD cables. So, whatever. I made the mistake of saying the thing that I need. Instead of, don't worry about it, I'm just getting this one cable, and I don't need anybody to look around or tell me anything else about the stuff in this store, because it's only gonna exhaust me and make me want to go home, or slash make me feel bad for I don't even know what. Um, so dude was like, "Yeah, no, we definitely don't have one of those." All right, I'm fine with that. I will go to the internet. And there's a girl that works there who I don't know. Definitely studied real hard and got good marks on the source test, like the employee test. That I don't know what that if there is one. She definitely nailed it and worked real hard on it, and has like made this place a part of herself, and maybe someday hopes to own and or run her own source thing. Or she's just one of those people that is like me, that is like, oh, I'm aware of this information, so I'm going to give you all of that information. So either way, she's either annoying like me or annoying like the other thing. Oy. uh, Oops, what I just did there. So she comes out from behind the counter, where, like I said, there's a minimum of 4 people working anyway, and I just don't understand why, but that's fine. But so she's like, "Oh yeah, 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 we had one. It might have just been the one we have at the store, but we might not have it now. But we definitely had one." So it's just like she's definitely telling me about one that's not for sale. So I think she's just gonna show it to me, and then she persists to keep telling me the brand name of it. Yeah, yeah, we have it. We have it. It's it's a it's a thing. It's this. It's got the this. It's got the that, and it's made by Bauer. And she kept spelling Bauer, and I'm like, okay, cool. I am kind of in my head making sure I'm not going to buy Bauer if it pops up when I go to the internet when I go home. I've already said 3 times, yep, I'm just going to go home and order one from somewhere. Just need to purchase the HD cable and I'm good to go. So she's still looking and still looking, which is like, it doesn't matter. You already told me that you can't sell it to me. I don't understand what we're doing. If you're gonna show me what it is, I don't need to know what it looks like. I already know. I already know. Problem is that I can't. The problem isn't that I can't visualize. Those aren't words. Excuse me. The problem is not that I cannot. Too many negatives. Visually identify one of these power cord things. The problem is that I can't see one because it doesn't exist here. So that's fine. Don't worry about it. Let me just pay for this and a GTFO. San Andreas. Uh, she tries to find it and she's like, nope, definitely gone. Um, like, ugh. Like, Jerry must have took it. Jerry's the manager or whatever. Like, he probably took it. Like, he's always, like, taking stuff or whatever. And, once you invite me into your world like that, game is on. I already want to leave long ago, and now I have names floating around in my head, and it wasn't Jerry for sure, but it's just like, now I have to make comments. In the internet world, that's what we do is comment on things. Um, so I, of course, I'm just like, oh, Jerry. He's the worst. Oh, I'm thinking of Jerry because I was watching Parks and Rec. But whatever. Steve. Of course it was Steve. It's always Steve. Oh, so tired of Steve. But at least one, if not two, of the four employees looked at me in that way as if to say, does this guy have a lot of problems with Steve all the time? Because I could see how he has a lot of Steve problems. Um, there isn't really any reason he would just be joking around. He's not getting the service that he came in for, really. But it didn't matter. So I'm like trying to just pay for. So I'm now with a different employee, a third employee, running it through, like paying for the thing. Or it is just like, this has been too many people. Trying to interact with the least amount of people because the end of the world is currently happening and my internet is not plugged in. That's not good. Hey Ripley, you want to just blink and stare for a sec? Oh, adorable. Stop resetting your animation. How you do that? Okay. Across the room without knocking everything down. Ah. And hey, that should make everything run better. Don't have a bar anywhere on the screen anymore to tell me whether or not the internet's running great or not. Um, yeah, so she is still telling me, well, this and the plug is this, but it's normally here, and then some other thing. I'm just like, the person 7 inches to your left is clearly talking to me at the same time you are and trying to tell me how much the thing is and whether or not I want whatchamacallit, a warranty on a cord. That's exactly what it is, avocado shakes. It was such a group presentation. Like I honestly was so tempted. It felt like being in college, like teaching in college, like when I had class to teach, and there's just all these young people just like trying to be busy, trying to be valid in the world, and in both cases, I don't really care, guys. Don't really care. It's up to you to care about your things and make your things important to you. That's what I'm trying to do, and it's why I'm not going to be a teacher for long. Cause I just want to do what you do. I don't want to show you how to do it anymore. Um, so yeah, and she just kept talking. So it was like, which one do I be rude to? Like, there's just no option to not be rude to one or the other. It's a real save Gwen Stacy or the boatload of kids or whichever version of that Spider-Man story. You're dealing with the Harvey Dent or the Rachel Dawes. Which one is going to survive and which one is going to have half their face burned off? So I had to Had to burn that girl's face. Had to burn that girl's face. I tried my best to go with the Rachel Dawes who was checking me out, and I'm sorry. Sorry. I need the HDMI cable very much, but I don't need your information that doesn't help me in any way, shape, or form. You've already told me you had one that I couldn't buy, and it's gone thanks to this guy, so we're done. We're done. I'm sorry, but you're going to lose half your face. I'm trying my best to be with Rachel right now, okay? So, halfway through that, one of the four employees, possibly the guy that was helping me first, or one of the other two that I've yet to interact with, was dealing with another lady. And this lady was trying, and man, oh man, there are times when I feel really old and really stupid. And say more about that. What times do you feel old and or stupid? Is it now? Is it 5 minutes from now? And is it 5 minutes ago? Because, I mean, when do you feel like, what, young and vivacious? Do you think you're like Trump on all those drugs, wanting to pull open your shirt and have people chant Superman? Because, sorry, dog. Last time somebody called you Superman, it was when you got that Superman cape for Christmas when you were like 5. So how old do you feel now? Remember how long ago that is? That picture is on a Polaroid. That's a Polaroid picture of your memories. All the children, all the adults you don't know, their memories are all digital and already online. And meanwhile, there's a book somewhere where pictures of your childhood are held. So yeah, feel old and or useless. What was I talking about? So this lady is trying to get her pictures from her phone, I guess, to her laptop or somewhere. I don't know where. She had her phone at least. I don't remember seeing a laptop. Maybe there was a laptop as well, but they were off to the side. But the reason I realized what they were doing was because my helpy helperton, who was giving me all that wonderful information about the thing they don't have, is made by Bauer. So when you do go online, when you go to the source.ca later on today, make sure to look for the Bauer. Hey, bro, I can't hear you at all. Are you whispering or did the sound cut out? It's so hard to tell with all these streaming devices and whatnot. Sometimes people freeze, and I'm like, bro, 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 can you hear me, bro? And I just say, bro, bro, for honestly, I think an hour and a half was the last time, but that guy was gone. He was totally gone. I was just busting it on a Zoom thing anyway, just to like make some cool Zoom friends, cause, bro, it's like Zoom, like the Mazda or whatever. Um, your voice fell apart halfway through that, but thanks for the chime in. Thanks for the chime in, Tedward. But yeah, the my girl jumps over to there, and she jumps in with, and I mean, I so badly, I was already like on my way out at this point, when I could really see and hear and feel what was happening. And I just so badly wanted to lean over because this girl just got younger and younger the closer and more words she said to this lady, and this lady seemed older and older the more words that were said to her. And somewhere within that Venn diagram of this little girl and this older lady, in between, was me. I am in that in between area of just like, nothing I can really do here, but the one thing I want to do is the same thing that I wanted her to do for me, which is, hey, excuse me, should have leaned over this way. Excuse me, don't know your name. Let's call her Destiny. Hey, Destiny, because young people have crazy names now, like strippers. Um, this lady doesn't need to know that or maybe she really needs to know, but none of it's going to penetrate, none of it's going to sink in. That the metadata on her Android is different from the metadata on your Apple phone, so that it saves it in a different place under a different name, and blah blah blah. So she's just saying all of these things. Meanwhile, the guy that's helping her is like, "Yep, they're just over here." Her phone just put them in this folder instead of that folder, so I think I can switch that out, no problem for her, and then it should start like downloading like normal. Blah blah blah. Ooh, that's a pretty good name, I have to say. I'm just a girl named Celebration. I don't need to. Hmm. Playing my demonstration? No. Just a party for my menstruation. No. There was no need to do that. But what if we do the whole thing? I met a girl. I met a girl named Celebration. It was just the other day. I met a girl. It was a party. No, in the USA. So that just made me feel super old because uh or celeb. Oh, here comes celeb. It's actually short for celebration. People think it's short for celebrity. Uh, this is my voice. I'm a girl called Celebration. Uh, so whatever, that's fine. Away I went. That lady was definitely stuck there for another 45 minutes to an hour. I believe I was half tempted to look in some other places to try and find power cord thing. It was just like, it's Sunday. Most things are already closed. I give up. I'm just gonna go home. I'm gonna lay on the couch. I'm gonna order it from my phone. I'm not even gonna come in here and sit on the computer. I'm done. Done with all this nonsense. But I wasn't. But I wasn't. Because I still had to test out my chords. But what problem could there be? Like I said, I already plugged a cord in before I went to get cords, so everything's gonna be fine. I'll just plug the new cord in, and it'll be like the same, except I'll have a little bit of distance, which I need, and everything will be no questions to be raised. No, nothing. Everything. So I plugged in the USB, and it didn't work. So I plugged in the HD, that didn't work. And I was just like, well, this doesn't make any sense. The USB should at least work. It worked. I saw it work. And now it's not. So I grabbed the cheap old cord, plugged that back in, and that's not doing anything. Like, whoa. I was planning on doing a bunch of stop motion today. I was gonna do some, or at least mess around with some stop motion, and I didn't, because hours and hours passed, and I just kept trying. I go to the internet, read all the things, watch videos. All right, well that's that. That's that. Okay, well that's that for sure. and then trying all the different combinations of all the different tricks and tips and hints people have to fix the thing, but it's just not fixing no matter what I did. And then finally, this one lady was like, "Hey, just the one simple trick that I wish somebody would have told me to make this exact thing work. Your exact problem, Curtis. I've got the fix right here. Just watch my video. It's only 2 minutes, so it's not like you're going to have to waste your whole life waiting to get the information. It's just one thing, clearly one setting that you have to change, and then it's going to work. And then it's going to work. So just click play. Just click play on my video. All your answers will be questions, which is the actual thing. Instead of all your questions will be answered is what I wanted, but all of my answers were questions. So I hit play, and super nice lady was like, "Hey y'all, I'm trying to get my thing to work. I lent my laptop and my camera over to my friend Darlene, and now it didn't work for her, and now doesn't work for me. But I found a simple, quick fix. It's so simple. I wish somebody had told me this right away, but they didn't. All right, so I went to the website. I watched this video. It told me this thing. I read this thing, and I tried that thing. And it's just like, yeah, don't. You're describing to me the day I've already had. Just give me the tip. Just give me the tip. Give me the trick. Give me the setting. What am I changing, lady? This video is only 2 minutes long, so there's not a whole lot of space to skip ahead. But I was like, oh my god, when are you gonna? So I skipped ahead, and she's still just like, I'll tell you what I did, y'all. I called somebody at Google, and I asked them, like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? The video's almost over. The answer has to be so short that I figured you were going to show me what to open, what to connect, what to something. But it's like, this is going to be like a one-word answer, or it's just not going to be anything at all. It's going to be like that other lady who, when I tried to fix the flicker, and she's like, I got a fix for you. No, lady, that's the most wrong way to fix something in the world. If you worked for me, you'd be fired by now. So this lady just like, I'll tell you what, y'all. All you have to do, what they don't tell you, it's what they should be telling everyone, but nobody will tell you this except me right here. Like, oh my god, you're worse than me. You're worse than me. Like, just tell me. Just tell me. Just gotta disable the Wi-Fi setting from your camera, and it will work. I promise you, that's the only thing. That's the only thing. Like, it's the only thing that hasn't come up yet, y'all. So I believe you, lady. There's nobody out of all the things has told me that yet. So I'll do that, and I believe you. Once I saw that, I saw 1,000 other people just saying that exact same thing. Like, yep, just turn off the Wi-Fi setting on your camera, and then you'll be able to use it as a USB or what have you. So I turned that off. I restarted my computer about 600 times. But yeah, didn't work. Didn't work. So I started that adventure at like, I don't know, 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. At around 7:30ish, I found myself going through the stages of is it grief? Stages of grief, or is that one of the stages? But the dabda or whatever, because I'm just like, I tried so many things, and I'm like retrying things in different combinations, and then at a certain point, I'm just like, it should just work, because it did. I already saw it working. It was on the screen. It was on the screen. And I just like, just in a moment, it felt like it lasted hours. It was probably like 30 seconds where I was just like, oh my god. And it wasn't until hours later, or maybe the next day, where I was like, are those the stages of grief? I know it's dabda, but I can't remember what those letters stand for. So I think the first one might be denial, D. Where I'm just like, this isn't even happening. Like, it's just not happening. Like, it works. If I walk away and come back, it'll just work, I'm sure, because there's no reason for it not to work. but I don't know, other than the reasons I've set up that it should work, it should work. But then I was on like DA is anger, and I'm just like, yep, I was just crazy angry where I'm like, this is an expensive camera. I want to smash it so bad. I want to smash it so bad, but there's nothing wrong with the camera. There's nothing wrong with any of the stuff. It's just this connection thing that I have set up, and because I'm using a Mac, and Tim Apple has made everything not work anymore. But they specifically made a thing. It's specific for me to do this specific thing. So it's like, this should be working. Infuriated. And once again, I always like end up looking to my computer mouse where I'm just like, you're not the only computer mouse in the house, computer mouse. There's one just like you in the other room, or in the closet, or somewhere. And then there's a wired mouse floating around as well. So I could ostensibly smash you to pieces right here on my desk. But there's a risk that I'll also break my desk, and then it's just domino rally of bad things. It's just like, no, sitting here focusing on whether or not what I should break to make myself feel better isn't gonna make me feel better. Then I'm gonna have broken stuff on top of the things that I'm trying to make work, and that's not good. So trying to shake myself out of that rage. DAB, dab, bargaining. So then I think I went from that, where it's like probably bargaining with myself, bargaining with the computer, just bargaining with the universe of like, okay, I'm not gonna break anything. I'm gonna keep at it. But it's like I needed to go to the bathroom for like 40 minutes now, but I can't just go to the bathroom until the computer is loading something or working on something that's gonna make this work, or it just works. Then I'm like, all right, success. Now I've earned a run to the bathroom. Yes, I know that's not healthy and not how you're supposed to do things, but that's how I do things. I need to complete something before I can go to the bathroom. I don't know. I don't know. But I know a lot of art nerds that are like that, so I'm not the only one. I usually make sure to not do it anymore, but in some cases, I'm just like, all right, I'll go in a second. Especially in this case where it was like, oh my god, this was just supposed to take me literally 2 seconds of swapping the different chord, looking at it, and going, good job, me. You bought chord good. But I couldn't. It was just like, oh, bad job, me. You buy chord bad. You buy chord bad. Buy chord better. Buy better chords. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. So, going here. Oh, doing everything that I do, and I really don't know what's going on with Animate lately. It's working in the weirdest way possible. So weird. Um, so whatever, blah 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 blah. I'm just like, fine. I'm just gonna go back to the internet again, and I'm going to find the answer. And flipping through, and it's just all the same. Nobody saying anything different. And then one dude popped up, and he was like, "Hey, here's how you set this stuff up." I'm like, "All right, cool. Looks like you're gonna give comprehensive details, not random tips about a thing that I clearly know everything about already." So oh, I haven't. No, definitely not updated to Anime 2021 yet. I saw that it existed, and as soon as I saw that it existed, the masks in my normal Animate aren't working properly, even though I've had some issues, but they kind of got better. And then just some weird things where it's just like, hey, do you want to select a little piece of artwork? I do. I do. Cool. So while it's selected, it's going to be mostly invisible. Since when? Since when, Adobe? Since when? And Adobe is like, since it's a subscription program now, so we can change it however we want, whenever we want, and it's either going to make it worse or better, and we don't care, and we don't care about you. We don't care about you at all. Thanks, Adobe. Thanks. Also, Powerade. I'm always over here drinking Powerade, and nobody's buying me an SUV. I realize it's only 6 people watching me drink Powerade, not however many millions watched do it on a skateboard, drink ocean spray, but do it on a skateboard with ocean spray is like the. Well, we talked about this last week anyway. Sometimes too many things is overwhelming. I still think there's not enough. Honestly, I mean, you know, it's the world of laughter, it's the world of fun. It's a small world for everyone. But why not? Why not more? Like, if you could have less, why not more instead? Like Justin Timberlake style, you could have 1 million, but you know what's cooler? Like 4 million. I forget that movie. What was that movie called? Step Up 4? So yeah, probably 4 million. I think he was talking about 4 million dance steps. I might be confusing things. Time, was that the one where time was like on his wrist, but it was also his life, and then people were just like, "Hey, I ran out of time," and then they just die. How did they get? That movie didn't really make any sense. It was fun, but it did not make any sense whatsoever. But anyway, you were talking about something. You were trying to plug in a camera, and it somehow takes you 45 minutes to tell the story of not being able to plug in a camera. Is that normal? Yeah, maybe get more characters and less chord stories. Oh my god, nobody wants to hear chord. Everybody wants to hear chord stories. Got all the chord stories. It led to oh, I'm gonna have to learn how to skateboard. It did lead to me reorganizing the chord bin and actually tying up all of the chords so I could actually just go in there and pick out a chord much more easily. So that was accomplished. Yeah, I watched this video and dude was like, first you do this, and I'm like, yep, did that, on board. Then you do this, like, all right, still everything makes sense, and we're running fine. Hopefully he gets to the same place I get to, and he's like, and this is how it works. And we kept going through the steps, and I'm excited. And it was like a 14-minute video, so it was like there's plenty of time for him to explain. And he wasn't telling me about Darlene and how she borrowed her laptop, and then she was taking pictures of her baby. Don't need to know that. Don't need to know that. No, but you'll let everyone know what I'm thinking, and also, hey, are they ready? Let's go to the field and see what Batman has to say live on location somewhere, because that's probably prevalent, huh? Is prevalent the right word? Oh, you're on location. Prevalent is not really the word you want to use. It still works, okay, but it's just you could be using a different word. I actually don't really know. Words aren't really my favorite. I'm more of a break your knees until I get the answers I need type of guy. Anyway, back to you in the studio. You guys, I get it. Characters are fun and chords are boring. But yeah, so anyway, dude decides to tell me that, hey, once you have the software installed, like, yep, one, this software isn't the most compatible with some of these streaming services and or options, and it's just like, those are the main ones. Like, I probably won't work with Zoom, probably won't work with I forget the other ones, but they're just like the main things everybody uses except for Google Hangouts and the other version of Google Hangouts. But I'm like, all right, that's fine. Still, I did my research, and somebody on the internet told me this is going to work great for me, though. This is the best option for me. Somewhere around halfway through the video, super nice guy, explaining everything real clearly. Everything looks great. He's showing me this is how it looks with this camera. This is how it looks with the camera you're going to use, and these are the things. And like, settings. You know what? Tell me about your friend Darlene and taking pictures of her cats or kittens. I don't even care now. You've earned it. You've earned it, YouTube guy. YouTube guy says, this is the most important thing. One, if you want this to work, you're probably going to want to turn off the Wi-Fi setting, just like that other lady said to Darlene. Like, okay, that's not the last thing you're going to say, so I'm still on board. You're also going to want to take that software that we just installed and make sure you close it. When you turn on your camera, it's going to automatically open up that software that links it through to your streaming stuff and whatnot. Like, you're going to want to turn that off. What? Is this Pat Proust 101? Pat Prue 101? Forgot how to say your name again. But what? Don't do what Donnie don't do. What do you mean turn it off? Turn it off? Turn it off. Not turn it off and turn it on again. Just turn it off. If you want this program to work, you need it to not be on. So I guess that's what I did the first time when it did work was I opened everything up, turned it off, and didn't realize that I turned it off, and then there it was. Like, oh, hey, it's working, but I was in the midst of turning everything off to go get cords anyway. It was just a quick, let me just set this up and walk away, because it's obviously going to work. Now, obviously, I'm happier that it's off while it's working, because then, it's not trying to run two separate things. Oh, and of course, it's also not the answer. Whoa! Surprise twist. Surprise twists! I was trying it between my stop motion software and my streaming software, whichever one works first. As long as one of them works, this will be some sort of vindication. Vindication, not indication. Some sort of indication that this will have a future, but I need some vindication so that I don't smash this through a window or the next person that I see. And I'm just in my head, like I said before, going through the stages. I'm angry, I'm bargaining, DAB, denial, acceptance, derangement. Don't know all the stages, but either way, I'm going through all of the different things where I'm just like, this is going to be okay. Finally accept it. But yeah, so what did work was the one I didn't expect to work was it running through my streaming software so that I could, not my streaming software, the stop motion software so they could stop motion. And I'm just like, all right, cool. But this software was designed, the software that I've turned off, it's designed to do streaming, to use it as a webcam. That's the one thing I can't get it to do, but I can get it to go through this other thing, which is the last thing ever mentioned in any of the videos or text or anything about getting this thing to work. So that just makes me feel extra insane. But then I'm just like, but whatever. It has an HD out, and I've got HD ins, kind of. Oh, actually, I just wasn't thinking that well. I don't need to go into this slot over here. I've got the HD converter thing for the PlayStation and the Nintendo. So if I go through that box, through the Elgato Stream Deck, no, whatever it's called, but whatever. If I go through there, then we should have some nice HD video, and that will be nice. There's no reason that shouldn't work. The video guy said that too, so I did that, and I was like, all right, that works. That works. I'm walking away. And it was like 8:30, 9 o'clock or something like that. I'm just like, well, I'm definitely not doing anything else. Definitely not doing anything else. I guess I'll go finish watching the rest of all the 30 Rocks and then go to bed forever because I never want to do anything ever again now. Ever again. The picture definitely, I can't wait for it because it's like, again, hey, ghost face streamer, here we go. Everything is weird. But when I use that camera, it's like, oh, everything actually, I can set the settings so everything is just right. Whereas with these, they're designed for me to be like right in the camera. Like if I go, see how that changes focus? Oh, did you see it for half a second? That's how I should look. So, I can't adjust that on this without getting right up in the camera, but I want to show. Trying to be a Mr. Dress Up, not a regular streamer, though. Yeah, that was a dumb rhyme on purpose. A dumb rhyme on purpose. Oh, man. I was just about to segue to, hey, so the world's still falling apart in the worst ways possible. Let's talk about that. But I don't want to. I don't want to. It's just like a president. Hey, just like a president of a United States. I am also jealous of all of the things being about terrible things. You know, instead of Casey, come in here. Um, Got to tell you about the atrocities of the. Hold on. What's that, Finnegan? Yeah. So anyway, Casey. I think that's the sound coming from upstairs and not somebody at the door. Um. Oi, jeez. I still don't even know about the Epstein case, but this is a comic strip. It's going to be about daylight savings time. I meant to do it on the weekend, but then I was like, too late. I missed it. And then I woke up yesterday morning, Monday morning, thinking like, all right, it's daylight savings time now. I don't have to do anything because everything updates on its own. But I guess it's earlier or later. I don't even know which it is, and I don't care anymore. And I don't care. I don't care about anything anymore. Everything's stupid and crazy, and nothing makes any sense. And I've been watching a bunch of old Saturday Night Live weekend update clips on YouTube for some reason. I don't even know why. They're hilarious, but at the same time, it's just like, wow, this is a list of all of the insane things that these first five should not have gotten through, and that guy should be in jail. Like the fact that that guy is not in a weird, again, like Lex Luthor, Magneto level, just crazy villain level jail is just unstoppably crazy. But anyway, the present day is weird, the past is weird, and so definitely some funny, silly things to be angry about. Uh, but anyway, like I was saying, the president is jealous of COVID. I'm jealous of the president and how his jealousy of COVID still gets more attention than me because I'm fantastic. Can I beg to differ report at the like this bug available at societythix.com slash no such thing as grownups. Also, books available at mrcartoons.com slash books. But mostly, you're unacceptable and out of order. You forgot what you were angry about. The the thing that I'm angry about is It always originates from Facebook, or at least just somebody reporting something on the internet. I've got a mug, I've got a book, I've got a t-shirt, but I've got no pants. Everyone be like me and get a mug of candy and then do your stream dance. Space Goonie stream dance. She's pooping in her pants in Walmart. Um, that's what's great. That's what I love about doing these streams, because it is just like, if I do have the ability to forget what I'm angry about, and talk about something silly instead, it once again means that there's hope. There's hope, and where there's laughter, there's hope. Just like the old comic relief uh, uh, Logan used to say. But no, I think this was also Sunday morning. It was on the weekend anyway, and it was just like, this is gonna affect me for days, easily days. A friend of mine, Kirsten, had a post that was like, the building on fire that we talked about last week, where the indigenous lobster catch, the lobster pound, where their stuff is being kept, and the article is about how the police are like, they can't figure out how or what, they don't know how this happened, they don't know what's the deal with this, when we all know the deal with this. There's been so many posts like straight up on the internet, hey, I'm so and so Mackenzie, and I'm gonna burn down more boats. They're going down. We're gonna win. Like, we're gonna murder those people. We're digging graves. We're digging graves for native people. Like, these are death threats that you're just typing out on the internet, but somehow the police are just like, we don't know. Even though we were standing there watching it happen the first time, we don't know. Even though all these people are like, have videos of themselves saying, hey, look at what I'm doing. I'm working on building this trap for native people. Huh? That's what I'm doing today. Anyway, invisible. Even though no smoke bomb, no deletion of the thing. So regardless, the the article is that I didn't go into the article, I didn't look at the article, and I had no plans on reading anybody's comments on that day or most days. But and I've been pretty good at avoiding things, but I know that I have a weird disease that requires me to say all of the words available. If I get set off and I saw, the however it shows up on the phone or on the wherever I looked, it's, I can see the fire, and I can see the thing that says, police don't know what they got, nothing, they're dumbfounded, was the quote, they're dumbfounded. And I can see the first person's comment, and then there's the dot dot dot, so you can see the first bit of text where it says, well, like, I would like to see, the sources on your data or whatever. I'm just like, I can hear the switch just being kicked into high gear. Like, no, 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 don't read that. Don't read that. Too late. You're already reading it. You're 5 comments in, and you read slow, and you have to reread things to make sure you don't miss them. So you're going to read this 3 times, and you're definitely going to get upset about it. So some dude, let's call him Kevin, because his name was Kevin, was basically like, yeah, like, on both sides, like, the numbers are like this and blah, blah, blah. Like, you might not be aware that it's actually a very delicate issue, that blah, 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 this. And I, like, glance back up, like, no, the article, the post, what this is about a business being burnt down. That's, like, the lifeblood of a community, and the police not having anything to go on, even though they have everything to go on. So, of course, somebody else is like, what's wrong with you, Kevin? You're out of your mind. Like, this is ridiculous. She's like, no, I'm just saying, like, the data, like, you'll find whatever, blah, 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 where's the data? And then somebody else just being like, who do you think you are? Like, how dare you just say things like this? Like, that's, what are you going on about? Like, the numbers are like this. And he's just like, well, I've actually known Kirsten like my whole life. We're very good friends or whatever. So, we can talk candidly like this at each other. So if somebody else comes in, it's just like, yeah, hey, Aunt Kirsten, who I've known my entire life, longer than this guy, that guy sucks. Or you suck, Kevin, basically. But just saying, not just insulting each other, just saying, like, by the way, you keep asking for the data and the stats. It's right there in the article as posted. Just like the last time we had this discussion, me and you, the internet, when I freaked out over something completely different, but basically the same. So it just kind of goes back and forth, back and forth. And finally, I'm just like, step away from it, like, nope, you don't need to do this. You don't need to do this. But it just keeps, dental plan, Lisa needs braces. Dental plan, Lisa needs braces. Data, people's were harassed, attacked, and set on fire. Like data, people harassed, attacked, and set on fire. Data, people who and then I was just like, nope. Tap, 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 tap. So I wrote, what in F's name, except I wrote it out, what in F's name does data have to do with any of this? This is an article about how people were attacked and this and this and that. I was like, I come from a family filled to the brim with fishermen, and they've never had to murder the catch of their brothers or sisters' catch. They've never had to destroy each other's boats, and they lived really close together, so you could easily like sneak up in the night. And I wrote that they could easily have gotten away with destroying each other's lives, but they didn't. But they didn't. And whatever. I just said that. It was like, that has nothing to do with any of all of the stats in the world. I was like, how many stats do I need? How many years do I have to have, because that's what was brought up in the conversation. How many years do I have to have known Kirsten so that I can set somebody on fire? Do I need to know her longer than 30 years or less than 30 years to be allowed to burn somebody else's stuff? And that's why I did the comic strip. If you follow on the Instagram at Mr. Cartoons, one of the latest comic strips is Milo threatening to set our friend Tara's car on fire because she's native, and the RCMP just being, yeah, well, I'm short staffed. What am I gonna do? Nothing. I'm busy looking over here, even though he's standing right there. And then Milo was like, oh, cool. I thought we were gonna become like arch nemesis, and you try to catch me setting things on fire. But if you're cool with this, do you want to also watch me set this random white guy's car on fire? And then the cop, the RCMP, is just like, oh my god, how dare you? Actually, it's in this very file. It's right here. So I ended up doing this either before, after, or during my rage. Hey, Constable Do-Right, see my cool native Canadian friend Tara over there? I'm gonna set her car on fire. And Milo's got like a little torch. This guy's got a big giant mustache. Everyone's having a great time. Well, we are very short-staffed, so I'll just be here looking around and stuff. Really? I thought we could do a whole cat and mouse thing. I could be your Hannibal, and you my Clarice. Huh? Romantic. You wanna watch me set this random white guy's car on fire too? And of course he says, you can't threaten people like that. You're under arrest. Tear gas, tear gas, tear gas. I didn't really come up with a voice for that guy. So basically, in real life, I just started yelling at this guy of, hey, so what? How many stat points do I need to set somebody or their stuff on fire? And regardless, I just skipped ahead a bit, or I am skipping ahead a bit here now, and just kind of ended with, like, regardless of all of this stuff, everybody knows, what right and wrong actually is. Everybody should learn to play nice, work nice, be nice, and share, because regardless of what the data says, you still have to go to bed at night with your own hate. And And that's the real truth. It is just like I did feel like at the end of typing that, I'm like, yep, if I hadn't have written that, I would have had to go to bed thinking I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything, you know, in that instance. Like I saw something and I didn't say something, and I don't like when I do that. Um, but I also don't like flying off the handle for things that are just like everybody already knows what's going on here. There's no real um, reason for me to chime in because who am I? So I did chimed in and just had to leave that 2 cents. He never came back. Nobody came back. I think I got a like or a heart from Kirsten, and that's about it. I also don't really exist on the internet. I mean, I post stuff on the internet, but only Space Goonie and CTK see it. I didn't watch Borat. I wanted to watch Borat so we could talk about Borat today, but I was too afraid. One, every time I sat down to like watch things and or eat, I was eating, so that I'm just like I'm too afraid of what's gonna show up on this movie. So even people in heavy costumey makeup stuff, that's kind of gross sometimes. Turns my stomach, but mostly I know that he's gonna eat weird stuff. They're gonna do and touch and see weird people and things. But there's definitely a lot of information I want to get in me, and a lot of things, some vindications I need to see. So like I've seen a few clips or whatever. So just seeing the harrowing uh, intensity of things. And exactly like that, where it's just like I just finished with the boys, and that was awesome. But I'm like, oh, I need a good palate cleanser, so uh, went through all of 30 Rock until I got to the end, and and that was amazing. Really got to get Borat in there. Mostly just again the Giuliani thing is just insane. But the weird thing about watching 30 Rock was I got so confused. I got stuck in a weird time loop. Not time loop, but time displacement where in 30 Rock, I believe it was just kind of like they made up a weird bumbling senator character who happened to be like Tracy Morgan's character. But they were getting out of it that it's just like, oh, we'll do more, or they Donaghy wants the show to do more sketches because the funny things that they do of this terrible politician is making him more likable. And this was before Trump was running, so this was like the Mitt Romney, Barack Obama re-election, I guess. And and it was just really bizarre because it was so just like this is 100% what's happening now. Like, but that's a made up version of like here's the crazy version of an election that was happening then when a somewhat crazy election was still happening. And then it was just like, oh my god, not only did the crazy version happen, we're on the second, coming of the crazy version, and it's gotten crazier. And he's just saying maniac things now. But it was just so bizarre to just be like, but wait, what is like? Yeah, I know that Trump, he came from NBC, and it really feels like this is a new season of a new reality show. But it kind of seems like, yeah, NBC had the rights and owns the 30 Rock stories, so they could easily reuse them for this weird presidential show life experiment they're running. I don't know. It was so weird, so weird of just the similarity of things happening right now, like even just beyond Simpsons stuff. I'm gonna swing this arm up instead of down. Go to the right. Right layer. But again, still from like now that I've pointed it out to you guys and myself, like yeah, if you're Italian, it's kind of not a show for you. Or that's the joke is that again, like Italians are so the best that you can't make fun of them, so they just keep bringing it up. But it very much like from episode one right to the last episode. Every single episode, there's at least one, if not two, instances where the punchline is, ugh, excuse me, like Italians. What am I, some kind of Italian? And it's just very crazy. But again, overall, genius. You know, once you've gone back, and I'm sure this is the second or third time I've rewatched it, but actually noticing all the specific instances where they very clearly lay out that Kenneth is an immortal from some other dimension or whatever. Like even when his parents came there, they're like, "Oh, when he was born, he said like this is merely a vessel for me, and I will outlive you all, and this and this and that." And then cuts to the future where somebody like Liz's kid, I guess, is like pitching the idea of 30 Rock to Kenneth uh, as like a retro show. And it's just like, yep, everything he said was going to happen is happening. He is like, it's incredibly well thought out, which makes me believe that, you know, all of the racial and homophobic things that do come up are meant clearly to be completely ironic of just like imagine like this is characters like this exist in the real world and we're making fun of them as opposed to hey, here's a hilarious thing that we came up with. Yeah, that'll be good. And I forgot about once again. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. Taskmaster is back, and they just put it on YouTube. I don't even have to go searching through the internet to find some weird illegal uploads of British shows. They just put so far, at least the first two episodes are on just on YouTube. La la la. And hey la la la. That used to be Milo's catchphrase. He used to be all like, "Hey, hey, hi, so anyway, something, 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 and then when I leave the room, I go la la la. And that was my whole deal. I haven't done that in years and years and years. But of all of the animations that are up on the YouTube, is the first Milo animation where I think I might enter and exit with a la la la. But that's me. That's just a little factoid about me. And I used to do stuff like this where my voice goes up a little bit all the time while I'm talking. But lately, I just don't seem to do that anymore, and I occasionally get angry. Nobody needed that information. Hi, la la la. Um, yeah, that was instead of watching Borat, I did that, and then I still was just like, I can't take all the terrible things. I can't. Let's watch Parks and Rec, even though that's basically just a government show. And all of the YouTubers that I watch, they're all playing Among Us now. It's not fun to watch. It should be fun to watch, but the way that it's set up, depending on who's playing or who's streaming it, it's not fun to watch. It's so boring. I can see how it's fun for people. I can totally see. I'm not one. I always hate those games. Um, yeah, that's exactly like Borat's gonna. It's gonna take some cringing. So I'm kind of like, I gotta wait until right before stream, or I'm gonna have to do a as soon as I watch it, do a stream right after the fact to get it all out of my system. But on camera, the the amount of stuff that's out there now where it is like I should watch it, I need to watch it, that's where all the information is. Or even though like this is funny, this is great, still comes with a price. That is, the world is like ending over here and that's gotta come up. Like that's just gotta come up. There's isn't really any way around that. If you're doing something about the real world right now. I cannot draw my hair today. And I don't know why. There we go. That's a bit better. Butterfly in the sky. I can go twice as high. Take a look. It's in a book. It's a reading rainbow. Hey, when are you gonna do my show? I've been ready. I've been waiting. I'm so full of ideas and gumption to do my show and just rate things and list things, and it's gonna be a good time for everybody involved. Why are we not running my opening intro right now? All that stuff I said with the camera before, that was about you and your. I feel like this camera's too far away now, but yeah, no, you're not. You're still not ready. Sorry. Still need cords. I had to get the cords, and then the thing that was all about. Sorry, sorry, foot guy. Also, that's still definitely not going to be your voice. Are you sure that's going to be my voice? Because I'm okay with it being my voice. It sounds pretty much the same as your voice with a different staccato delivery, but that makes a difference. So, if you're willing to give me a chance, I am willing to take the reins of this show. And that, no, that's fine. That's fine. Next year, I mean next week, we'll do some stuff with you. And yeah, like I said, most likely change your voice because that one just becomes more and more of my voice the more I do it. And I can't see the time. 10 o'clock. I am exhausted. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to switch, but I already don't really feel like drawing today. He says after drawing for an hour and a half. Yeah, I'll stop there. I'll probably finish this during the week. and throw it on the Instagram as per usual. If you are new, follow at Mr. Cartoons on Instagram. That's where I do all my updates. Still trying to get some followers on YouTube so I can change my name, which is super funny how so often I meet people and they're like, you know what you should do? I got a great idea for you. What's that? What's that, new person? What should I do? So you definitely have something that I've never heard before. Tell me. Tell me this idea. You should get yourself a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter or a Patreon. Like, I should. I've had all of those things, but I still, none of an audience doesn't come with any of them. I still can't get followers to my YouTube channel. So why would I go set up another thing where it's just like, hey, give me your money, 6 people? No, 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 that's crazy. But yeah, everything takes time. And like I was saying to CTK the other day, I have a job. Like, I have a job, so it's not like I don't need to be a full-time professional live stream, whatever this is, Mr. Dress Up. Today's episode is brought to you by Sunkissed. Meow. Can't get it to focus. Everything's washed out. Sunkissed fruit snacks. They're peanut free. They're gluten and gelatin free. And they're fat free. Fruit flavored snacks. I actually meant to just sit here and angrily eat fruit snacks for most of the stream. And I forgot. I got carried away with being verbally angry at the world. That I didn't just sit here and eat fruit snacks. Also, can't eat just like less than 5 fruit snacks at a time. So of course you can't really talk while you're eating fruit snacks without spitting all over everything. But just like me with a bug, if you have something else in front of your face while you're shoving candy in your mouth, you could just talk and then let the spittle fly free because you're not technically on camera. Just like right now, all of my spittle just hits the back of this unacceptable mug that people can purchase at society6.com/noticing All links available at mrcartoons.com. That's Mr. Cartoons with a CU, not a CAR. We're not about cars. We're about curts. Kurtz, I guess. That's you. You're a Kurt? Or something about curtains. Yeah, it suddenly got cold out. It's been like kind of warm and weird because, you know, global warming. But yeah, suddenly today I was like freezing out. Last night I could barely sleep because I had a mouthful of fruit snacks. And it was 1,000 degrees out. Ooh, angry eating. I did do a stream a long time ago and it was just under my name. I mean, like years ago, before I started doing this stream, when I was doing my egg roll stream, when I worked at a company called Egg Roll. And I just sat there and I ate a whole bowl of soup for my stream. Nobody cared, but I thought it was fun. I'm sure Mike watched it a few times. Ow! Just unfolded my leg. That was too long. That was too long. I guess everybody, we talked to the Foot Soldier, we talked to Milo, talked to Ripley, we visited Batman. We don't need to go to a commercial. But, you know, books. I make books. There's sexy dinosaur books. There's these comic books. I make so many things. All right, I'm basically a little corporation unto myself. And oh, I definitely slurped. It was mostly Mr. Noodles with a lot of water, and it might have been hearty chicken soup. Either way, I might have done it more than once. There was a full stream where I tried to cry the whole way through, and another one where I tried to eat soup the whole way through, and both are disturbing and magical at the same time. And Shelby was like, "Are you okay?" Like, oh, Shelby, that wasn't a live stream. I had to edit out all the laughing because I couldn't just continually cry for a half hour about attacking Mike's mom in a video game, because that's what I was crying about, because Mike's mom played the game, and then we just made up a whole fake story around that. Either way, we've talked about that 1,000 times before. And I got more fruit snacks to eat over here. I'm tempted to just keep eating them. I've got some in the closet. In the cupboard, in the kitchen. Because, like Milo was saying when the stream started, it's been a while since we started where we ended. Where we end where we started. That used to be something I prided myself on. It was always by accident. But, they're really sticking your teeth for a second. But, once it's clear, I put another one in. Real good at TV. Yeah, I was just watching the stream for somebody I had to do some artwork for. And I was just super excited just because it was like right off the bat, she was trying out the animations that I sent over. And she was like, "Oh my god, it works! Isn't that so cute?" And as the alerts went off, and she was like, "This is great." And people were like, "Yeah!" Sending her bits and subscribing. And I'm just like, once again, I'm watching people get actively excited about the stuff that I did, while the person who's reaping all of the rewards sits there and checks their phone. So maybe I do too much. Yeah, to make money on YouTube, you just need a certain amount of numbers. I think I might have made money on YouTube before. But it basically just comes down to, yeah, having a certain volume of people watching your videos, and then they monetize them. But with Twitch, at least, everything is technically monetized just by, I get a half cent or whatever from the ads. So depending on how many people watch, I think I made like $4, $3, something like that last year, just from the ad money. So that was cool. And yeah, with YouTube, they basically have some similar things, but you need people watching. Oh, still got some more fruit snacks, so we're not done yet. You can go to bed when I finish my fruit snacks. But yeah, it's just amazing that I'm just like, again, we said that last week, how I just like doing stuff. I'm always making things, and even if nobody's looking, I'm still filling up sketchbooks. God knows I did a bunch of drawings over the past few days, weeks, that I didn't Instagram. I don't Instagram everything I draw, because it is just like sometimes I'm just doodling, and that's just what I'm doing. That is my lifeblood. That's what keeps me alive. But we also live in a world where it is like, you're not using that to just be, you already just want to be a person who spends time in this room to make money, and that's how you do, live. And it's like, yep, wouldn't it be great if instead of making stuff for other people, the stuff that you made was the thing that made you, that would be amazing. But I know that I have to do less, say less, and eat more to be a good stream. But mostly I need to stream more often, like Pat Proust 101. If I can learn anything from Pat Prue 101, it is that He streams often, or way more often than me anyway. It actually plays games that people are interested in, does things that people are interested in. That is, create civilizations, go into virtual space and whatnot. And yeah, like I've got a pile. I got so many video games to play, but just like going to the bathroom, I need to complete certain things. These guys need to have a show before I can sit and play video games. And even though the playing the video games is also a show that I have a separate intro for and a whole separate setup in my Streamlabs thing. Yeah, Pepper. This is kind of a fun game. Talking through my fruit snacks. It's a new game. I'll do my best not to choke, but if I do, I'll be choking on your names. As I die, I just want to thank Matt Brown. Hey, Scooty. CTK. Avocado Yanks. Not really choking, but that's what it'd be like if I did. But if I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I would have made some notes and I would have had more to say. But instead, we talked about my cords and my camera that I'm not using, but stop motiony things will happen. Next week's stream should look different. Ordered things from the mail. I feel like it looks a little better this week for some reason, but every week it looks somewhat different. I don't know. I'm always moving the lights to a different place. Always moving the cameras to a different place. Either way, yeah, I would just do that. CTK, I'm going to make my way. I'm going to try with my last breaths to crawl to the door and see if I can't unlock it. And then, yeah, barge in, Heimlich me, and then get me to the hospital. But anyway, thanks for hanging out once again. See everyone next Tuesday where we'll do the same thing, except a different comic strip, maybe a different kind of art. Maybe we'll just straight up play some video games. And yeah, have a good night, have a good week, have a good life. And if you need more live streaming, like I said, Pat Prue 101, he's doing it 6 days a week. 6 days a week. That's a lot. There's only 7 in a whole week. But yeah, have a good night. And whatever I normally say, follow the things, follow your dreams, eat some vegetables, is what I'm trying to tell myself. And gotta make some juice. Gotta make some juice. Yeah, I moved the thing to the other side, so I'm not always pressing here. Huh? So then it's a little more seamless. Just gotta. You're not the boss. I'm the boss. You just control the things. Just press the thing to end the thing. All right? Just press the. Thank you. Fruit snacks and magic. Don't have any words. That's wicked tragic. That rhyme took too long to build. Oh, there's my beat. Chilled. Something else. Hit the subscribe button. It don't take nothing. Then share that stuff. And your day won't be right.